Welcome to the Nations Cup again, another best of 5, and we got a spicy one. We got one of the favorites, France, going up against Spain. Spain being one of the contenders, a team that wants to make it at least into the top 4, but of course would love to go a little bit higher than that and aim for the top 3. So if Spain can pull it off, or if France is just showing them today where the limits are, that's the question. We're starting with Towers of Doom. Again, we are now down to the final 8 teams at the European qualifier for the Nations Cup. And we have a full round robin playing out. The top 4 will then be invited to the offline event in Berlin, where we also are going to have a team from North America and 1 team from Asia. So a full Nations Cup is going to be played out at that point. We have 6 teams at the offline event itself. The offline event takes place in Berlin on June 10th and 11th. And it's going to be awesome. It's going to be great. The players are going to be there. We have all the casters there. And tons of people have already said that they're also going to attend, that they're going to come visit Berlin, spend a couple of days there, and then enjoy Heroes of the Storm on the 2 days at the Experian at the Alexanderplatz. Very central location that we have for the event. So if you haven't really heard of it yet, or you haven't checked it out, there are links in the description that you can have a look at. And the Experian in particular has also a couple of social media accounts where they upload pictures of events that they've already been hosted. So if you want to have a bit of an idea what this looks like and what the venue looks like, then you can of course check that out as well. No entrance fee, so everybody that comes can just enter. There's nothing that you have to get in terms of like tickets either, reservations. But yeah, it should be really nice. Obviously, very tight-knit community, Heroes of the Storm. But it's cool to just see that a lot of people now that it's here in Europe have already said, hey, I booked my flight, booked my trip, booked my hotel. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. And keep in mind, if you want to represent the HGC, the Heroes Gaming community, there's also a link in the description to the merch shop, especially for the, I mean, there is obviously the HGC collection, but we also entered another collection specifically for the Nations Cup. So if you want to have a look at that and get some of the Nations Cup merch, it's also all listed there. I've only had it up for a couple of weeks, and we're also going to have it up only until, obviously, the main event. Doesn't make any sense to run that later than that. Blaze and Junkrat in game number 1, as we're here in Towers of Doom on the side of France, meaning that Quasiar gets his Blaze once again. And there's Hogger and Anduin already. I mean, they're off the bat right going for the big ones. So the 2 heroes that always stand out for Nano are Hanzo and Chromie. Those are 2 heroes that are oftentimes banned against him. France, though, they don't care. They look at us and they're like, yeah, whatever. Pick what you want, bro. They worry more about Dehaka, they don't want to have Lucios or quick rotations, and any hero at this point that creates imbalances on the map is something that they apparently don't really like, at least 2 of the big names in that category. Tracer also eliminated, but I'm pretty excited. Spain had some sick games. They did really well. They're still the underdog here. But again, upsets happen. And Spain has shown a lot of really nice tenacity in the matches that they played so far. And they haven't taken any prisoner. The Spanish Inquisition, they just dropped everyone in front of them. No mercy. No quarter has been given. The French, they already lost the match. Within the top 3, granted. The 3 favorites, of course, to make it to the event in Berlin from the European qualifier are France, Germany, and Sweden. Now, as you already might have noticed, that's 3, but 4 teams are going. So even if you don't push into the top 3, there's still 1 slot left that everybody's fighting for, meaning every single map win that you can pull off in a series like this is also quite important. Rhaegar and Liming. Reset time, potentially, here in Towers. And with Rhaegar, a little more speed on the camp clear if you're gonna go for the pumpkins. With the final 2 picks for Spain. So, let's see what Johan is getting. Jojo is, by the way, still up. I was just like looking at the potential tanks, and yes, there she is, Johanna and Chromie. Hanzo and Chromie in the same game. Alright, getting it out of the way early, apparently. The full barrage, everything they got, just throwing it at them. And we got Nagrom as the final pick. So today, not with Masquerade, but with Nagrom. had this already happen a couple of times. If a player can't make it, you gotta play. Most teams have an extra sub that they can bring in. Nagrom obviously very experienced in that role too. And that's Murden for us. Towers of Doom, everybody. France against Spain. Let's go. Game number 1, and we are on Towers of Doom. On the left, Drakia and Hanzo, Johan playing Johanna. We got Exilom on Anduin, Pepinazo on Hogga, and Nano on Chromie. So at first it looked like we were going to see Nano on his Hanzo, but far from it. They're just swapping heroes around a little bit, and Drakia is going to be the one to drop the arrows here. On the right side, the French, the Baguettes with the Quasar on Blaze, Banana H on Rega, Yasuo on Junkrat, the Panda Colada on Li Ming, and Nagrom today in place of Masquerade is playing Murden. So no bathrobes in this game. Okay. Yeah, with level 1, immediately Ether Walk, we get the deep breathing, we have for Hanzo the simple geometry, and immediately fireworks in the middle of the map as everybody is fully okay to just contribute 5 heroes to the initial attack and see if they can maybe pull something off here. Hogga is already ping-ponging around a little bit. Not really too much happening there either. And with that, hello, nice! Very nice Stormbolt and follow-up, and damn son, that's the kill! France with a very quick one here. Nice aggression, I like it. Well played. Good Stormbolt, Junkrat follow-up, and then Li Ming just taking aim, dropping the target. Drakia is able to get out, but you can tell that there's already a kill squad on the map for the French. So, not too shabby. I like it. They are definitely not screwing around. They are right from the start getting aggressive. And now that the 1 minute mark has passed, it obviously also means that the teams are starting to make their plays for the objective again. Or well, the first objective, which is the camps, and the French are invading. What the hell? Look at that, the French with all the aggression. Not only do they get an early game kill, but they also take the pumpkins away. Guys, it honestly looks a little bit like the team in blue is still sleeping. Spain, they need another coffee. They're still holding a siesta over here. Oh boy, this is going to be a rude awakening if this continues. Yeah, they definitely need to drop a couple of numbers into this one. So let's see what they can do, but that could get nasty very quickly if they don't stabilize here. So, the French are taking advantage of this, 100%. Early lead for them, double pumpkins, opening the bot lane up a little bit, and still roaming the map looking for additional targets. So, we'll see if Spain can get their act together here. Another Stormbolt straight to the face of Draka, and the Li Ming follow-up was there just a second later. That could have been another problem for them. Barely missing out on the damage and the kill. But with a lead in experience, they might even get level 7 talents, and up at the top, the Quasar at least is getting pressured a bit by Hogga. But besides that, when we're talking about the 4-man that moves between the mid and the bot lane, that's a clear win for the French at this point. So Nano moving in down to the bottom of the map. Yeah, and gets immediately greeted by Murden, who misses the Stormbolt and hits the wall. Oof. Bad wall. Yeah, trying to take that one out. I love how he's still playing this out with it. But the mage battle... Another one! Honestly, at this point, I don't think he's even aiming for Chromie. He's clearly aiming for the wall. That's the second time that he hit it. Double channel for the French, eventually. I mean, currently it's even Steven because top side has not been taken yet on the top right, but it's going to happen, and it's going to be taken by the team in red. There's just no way. You can interrupt us a little bit and you can annoy them, but the position is just way too good. Until you all of a sudden kill 2-3 heroes, there's just no way. And instead of a hero on the French side falling, it is Hanzo that dies, and that is the second kill for the French. So they are not only eating frogs, they're eating Hanzo alive too. The French. Yeah. Allez le bleu. Allez. Yeah, in this case they're not even blue. This is a trend today. We had this already in the series between Poland and Sweden, that they had technically wrong colors. Now, don't get me wrong, they are both on the side which they are supposed to be on, so it's all about how you're positioned within the bracket, which team starts left and which team starts right. But from a color perspective, they're definitely in the wrong spot here. Spain should be red and the French should be blue. I think that's why they're confused. Rega is also a little bit confused and he got killed for it. So that's the first one for Spain. Maybe they're waking up now. Yep. They went straight from Almuerzo into Merienda, and then they needed an espresso and a bocadillo. And now things are looking up for them. Siesta is over as well, so now with fresh energy, they can go into the fight here and get things started just to be ready for dinner later on today. Okay. But yeah, now at least some pumpkins to do for Spain. I mean, again, Spain is actually stabilizing. So at the beginning, I really thought they were caught a little bit off guard. The French started off strong, but right now things are flowing much, much better for Spain again. They're not really taking lead here or anything, but at least you can see that they're here to fight. They get a kill, get some pumpkins, escort them through into the tower range. They trade it as you typically do with Alter, so that's happening as well. And Qualifier is pausing the game. You see, the French are already intimidated. The French are starting off well, and now they're a little bit intimidated here. There's like, guys, these guys are fighting back all of a sudden. I thought we had agreement. Like, what's happening here? It's like, damn. They got a kill, they took Rega down, they don't like dogs apparently. Maybe Spain, they're more cat people. And therefore the pause is the only explanation that I have. Or it could be some tech issue, like one of the two. Your guess is as good as mine. The French have a bit of an advantage when it comes to the next objective, and that's of course elite and experience. So they will lock in level 10 just a little bit faster than the Spanish team, which is definitely going to help him here. I want to give a shout out, by the way, real quickly to Drakia. You know why? Because Drakia also lives in Valencia, and to my shame, I have to admit that we have not met yet since I moved here to just grab a few beers. But when I talked about just fast food and food in general a while ago, and we talked about pizzas and burgers on the stream, he actually dropped in and he went into Discord and he sent me a message and he's like, here's a burger place, go there, order this and that burger and thank me later. And you know what? I did. I went there. I kind of forgot what the place is called. I have it somewhere. But apparently they have like a cheeseburger that has won some prizes and stuff. And they literally come to your table and then they have like one of those burner thingies and they burn the cheese in front of you and melt it away with that. It's pretty awesome. And that burger was amazing. I was just like, oh my god, now I know what he's talking about. Mil took a picture, sent it to him. But yeah, thanks given, and now also public shout out. So if you ever need some culinary advice when you're coming to Valencia, you can either ask me or you can ask Drakia. He might have a few more. I have a couple of really nice places to go to too, but Drakia probably knows a little bit more given that he's being grown up here. But yeah, either way, shout out to him. So, 10 to 10, whatever the problem was, it has been resolved. And, well, with the shots fired, we now have 24 points on the core of Spain. Kinda escalated quickly. Losing all of those 2 altars. I mean, again, it was kind of given because of level 10. I talked about this a bit, but still. Now they are catching Nagrom, but yeah, so there's that. Okay, so to the day, by the way, I still don't know if Nagrom is just Morgan spelled backwards or if there's some other reason for this. That arrow doesn't go nowhere. So, I asked him once, I was like, so what is it? And he said, yes. Not to it being spelled backwards, but just to not make a sense. So, another kill. Drakia, just a second ago, I praised him, and now he gets killed on Hanzo. There's a caster curse kicking in once again. They really want these camps. Like, the French have been invading this camp over and over and over again. They're so aggressive in this game now. Absolutely love it. So, 4 kills to 1. And Spain is being shut down a bit. Let's be honest about this. Nice dodge on the Quasar stun, forcing him to bunker up in the back. But that bell tower is going to be taken. Chromie very likely is going to have a very bad day, because that smells like death to me. And Muradin indeed dropped her, and now they're going for Hogger. Yeah. I mean, either it was death or I smelled Hogga. One of the two. It's very similar. They got the Quasar, so at least they traded kills, but they also lost the bell tower. Now that Hogga dies, it's again a win for the French team. They are very aggressive here, and it works out perfectly for them. 7 kills to 2, and this is not bad. I mean, kudos to France. They are crushing it right now. Now, again, they're one of the big three. They are the favorites. But Spain has been having so many good games and so much amazing teamwork that helped them to take victories over direct competitors in the fight for rank 4 or rank 3. And now France is just saying right from game number 1, yeah, but that's not the level we're playing at. You boys, you gotta step it up a little bit if you want to take maps of us. At least that's the statement in game number 1. And they're bringing it back. Li Ming is dead. Good stun. Job well done. Awesome. Nice stun. And they have the bell tower back. All right. Spain firing back here. I like it a lot. They lost the bell tower. They reclaim it nearly immediately. And they also take a few kills. And all of a sudden, Rega's in trouble. Oh, and that is exactly that coordination and synergy I've been talking about a second ago. Well done. 13 to 15. They're still behind in experience. Blaze is rotating between the lanes as he's trying to get his team even farther ahead. But that is nice damage from the Spanish team. So they're doing their best to regain a good position in this one. They gotta close the experience gap, that's the big problem. 36 points on the core to 19, big advantage there. Now Hogga, yeah, gets a little bit lost. I can't even blame him. If you just like spin around all day, every day, you would also get lost a little bit. I mean, just try that. Like, just spin around for like half a minute and then try and walk into a proper direction. If you spin as much as Hogga does, then yeah, you are lucky to still be able to walk straight. They at least killed Muradin. So Muradin got caught by Chromie's temporal loop and they could get the kill against Nagrom. Now the interrupts are starting to happen as we're fighting for an altar, and obviously they're getting a little bit low on points on the core, so at least taking this one would be kind of important. Johan gets saved, alright, good for them, and still 4 shots fired in favor of the French. Panda Colada nearly gets Hanzoed, and yeah, that backfired big time. Hanzo got a bit too cocky there, thought that he had it. Nice stun, stunning 3, and then he gets the angle for Li Ming and drops her, or nearly drops her in the back. But with Rega saving the day for her, she just turns it, and all of a sudden it's Hanzo that falls. Now it's a 5 versus 4, and they're again pushing in for the bell tower. Bot lane control is all that Spain wants at this point in time. And yeah, that is not looking good for Exelom either. So, another quick hit, another kill. They can get the bell tower if they want it. And of course, there's camps to be taken soon too. Rough. Really rough. 2-level advantage for France. 2 levels ahead. And 15 to 36 points on the core. Nagrom just being aggressive right now. Hobbity hop, little dwarf. Budget Gimli is jumping around. And Junkra is taking the top lane pumpkin camp. Down here, yeah, Hogga moving in with a pleb horse. I mean, if you have so little self-respect that you actually show yourself on a pleb horse, then this cannot happen. That was a very nice trap against Chromie. The second she started to fire up on her, wind-up with the animation, they went on her. Another stun. Bunker out. Oh, the Quasar! Low and alive. How? Low but alive. Now we have 12 kills to 5. Triple altar phase. Junkrat isn't even here. Junkrat is already starting to take altars, and so does Blaze. Guys, they're going to be down at 5 points on the core. First 5 shots connect. Johan at least saves it for now. But now Muradin falls, alright. Nagrom down, yeah, that gives Spain level 16. They're now in a halfway, well, they had it before. But now they're in a halfway decent spot here to at least gain a bit of ground and maybe even take a fight. The problem is still that they're down to a single digits. It's 5 points on the core against 33. Yeah, have fun bringing that back. boss can nearly end the game. So, yeah, I don't know. Up to the top. That's where we have Yasu pushing the lane out further, and the team is making a play for the boss. Now they are going to bait them in here a little bit. Can they take it? There's 2 heroes down at the bottom of the map and they have full vision of them. So they can make this a 4 versus 3, and I think that's the idea here. And the shots are going to be fired one way or another. Who takes it? Boss, bunkers up, straight on the point, and they steal it away! Spain! They come through with the save on the boss. 4 shots fired against the Frenchies. Okay, so forced back here once again. That would have been a little bit too easy for France, but they still take the top bell tower, so they claim this one. One more bell tower taken right there, and well, with a couple of pumpkins making it through, the core is now down to 2 points for Spain. So the pumpkins made it in. They prevented the boss from ending this. But now there's a double altar up, and all you gotta do is take a single one. And this one is very well protected and very difficult to access for Spain. Unless, of course, they get a quick kill against Nagro before the fight even starts, which is exactly what happens. And that is the end of Muradin. Muradin eliminated, 5 versus 4, and now they got a chance. 51 seconds until the dwarf is back up. This is what happens, you know, when you can't afford real Gimli. You gotta go for budget Gimli. He's just not as good. It's just like, it's not the same. It's not really the same. Comes in, give him the axe, and then he doesn't have an axe, just a hammer or something, so yeah. What the hell? Oh my god! Leeming! Big plays made. 10 hit points after the barrage, less before, and now we have, yeah, a kill against Hanzo thanks to Blaze. And I guess, yeah, the pumpkins made it through, and that is victory in game number 1 for the French. Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet, so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV. Game number 2, the lead for the French. Infernal Shrines is our second map. France has taken the lead in the series. Spain, little bit unprepared. So, well, that's maybe taking it a little bit far, but it felt at least at the beginning of the game like they were just overwhelmed a bit. The French came out swinging, I mean, right from the start. Quick kill, invading the camp, taking that away. So before Spain realized that the game had started, the French had already gone for half a win. But very, very impressive performance by the French. Again, one of the favorites in the European qualifier, of course. So with that, we are now heading into the second map, and it is first pick, first ban for Spain, which means that the map was chosen by France. Quick ban on Genji is the first thing that starts. There's always a little bit of a question of how many heroes you really sacrificed in a draft also that you would like to play maybe at some point later. As I explained, when we're talking about Nano, oftentimes he's associated with his Hanzo and with his Chromie. He's obviously he has played tons and tons of other heroes too, but those are the two that most people associate with him and then try to make sure that he doesn't get them. And both of them have been played in game number 1 by Spain, so they're already both off the board. He can still go for Mephisto over here. We've seen him on mages like Gul'dan and others, but how are they going to approach Infernal Shrines now? Leo even banned. Okay. So, Leo banned. That also leaves us... Dehaka is still up. Dehaka was banned earlier in the first game. So he's still... yeah, okay, so much for that. Yeah, I was just about to say he would have been awesome here, and then he just gets the axe. So the French agree, as it seems. But what does it mean for our first pick? What's it gonna be instead if you're not going for Dehaka? Are they still starting things off with a side laner because now 2 have been banned out? No, they go for Sylvanas. Dracula with Sylvanas. I would assume that we're still going to get a side laner from the French, but no, it's Diablo for Nagrom. Also want to, I guess, prevent the other team from taking Diablo, considering that he is quite strong on the map, and Leo has now been removed. Tyke is still up, of course. one of the usual suspects for Infernal Shrines, especially for the Odin transformation. Come on, Spain. Mephisto for Nano. Talked about him earlier. And we get Sonya. Alright. So, good stuff. Yeah, I like it. Again, Nano has another one of his strong heroes. Drakia is playing a ton of Sylvanas. You got Sonya for the spin to win the sustain on lane and shrine. But they have to also pick, of course, a main tank. And the question is, what is that going to be for Johan? His normal go-to, which we've already seen, is Jojo. But yeah, she's out. So, Spain, they can get rid of some of the damage dealers over here. So what's the one that worries them? What's the problem? I mean, we have Vala up, Greymane is still up. Tracer is up, she was banned earlier. Gul'dan when it comes to mages. More worried about the side lane and about Malthael. Clearly indicating a Cho'Gall pick coming. No, just kidding. Blue team doesn't even have support at this point. I don't want to go too deep on this one. But okay. After Diablo Brightwing. Ooh, is that a Medivh game maybe even? They could go... They went for Wombo the other day when Nagrum played with them, didn't they? Didn't they play Apocalypse and Leyline? Would be an option. You got Urel now on the side lane. Tychus, again, was pretty much inevitable that he's getting picked. You're in game number 2, you have Infernal Shrines. I mean, when it comes to damage, who are you going to take? ETC for Johan. Okay. And we get Ana. Nano boosted Mephisto is an option now. And what is Yasuo going to pick? Final one for map number 2. The French are in the lead. They've taken the victory on Towers of Doom, our first map. And now as we're heading into the second game, it is up to France to decide how they want to bring their draft together. Couple different options, of course, for them. Main damage will come one way or another from Panda Colada, I would assume. And we get Tassadar. Second time today that we see him. Tassadar's in the house. They're going for the Protoss. Infernal Shrines is the second map. Spain against France. Prepare yourselves for battle. Game on, everybody. We are on map 2. We are on Infernal Shrines. On the left, Drakia with Sylvanas. We got Pepinazo on Sonya. Johan on ETC. Nano for Spain with Mephisto. And Exilom is playing Ana. On the right side of the map, Dequaza for the French with Urel. We have Nagrom playing today for Masquerade on Diablo, Panda Colada on Tychus, Banana H on Brightwing, and Yasuo is rocking Tassadar in game number 2 of this series. Very, very nice moves made by the French in game number 1, and they walked away with the victory. A very decisive one at that. But now they might actually lose. Yep, they are losing Tassadar right as the game starts. Okay, so Spain is a little bit angry over here, aren't they? Spanish Inquisition got a little bit mad. The Spanish Armada, a couple of their ships were destroyed, and now they're just like, alright, boys, time for revenge. Let's go. Choo choo! Where's my choo choo? I heard a choo choo. I don't know where it is though. Anyways. So, we got the Cyan Fusion over here, going full on for the Storm Ball, the Psy Storm, so yeah, it's actually not too bad. If you want to have AoE control over the Shrine, then this is a perfect one. There's my Choo-Choo. And Tassadar died again, damn, Yasuo's griefing. What is this? Double kill against Tassadar? I mean, don't get me wrong, from the perspective of the Spanish, I can absolutely understand it. I would want to kill the Protoss as quickly as possible as well. These fuckers are cheesing all day, every day, one cannon rush at a time, or they just go for Colossus A move, so yeah, hashtag no skill involved. But that he dies so quickly 2 times in a row, that is a bit of a surprise here, so damn. Tassadar kind of getting murdered here. A little bit of a problem. And they are going for the next target, as it seems. Another slide as ETC takes aim. Yeah, here comes the wall, and Johan, okay, so now they're being split a little bit. Johan has to retreat. We have more pressure on the Sonya as well. It's another problem for them, and it's Mephisto that falls. Nano gets destroyed, so first blood on the side of the French this time. They would have, of course, loved for a little bit more to happen here. Maybe they can go for Johan again. Not quite. So, level 1, we also get the Overwhelming Affliction. We get the Unstable Poison over here. And up at the top, Brightwing again being disgusting as per usual agreement. The magic spit is in. And here we are. Next fight over the top left is already getting prepped as both teams go for their camp. Then it's all up to the objective on where we're going from there. So, one camp taken, nobody invading this time. Over on the right side, same picture. Altar is up at the top though, so a little bit more limited on what you're gonna get for it. Tyke is making things a little bit more exciting though. He hasn't picked his level 4 yet. Normally you would think that Master Assassin... Okay, there is Master Assassin. Every single time that a Tyke's player is holding back his level 4 talent, I think it's gonna be in the rhythm. Most of the time is the only reason why you want to hold it back a little bit and just like think it through. But yeah, he went into a grenade build from the start. Now we have Master Assassin. They even got a kill with it, going for Sonya. And she got dropped quickly. Can he get another one? Nah. Not yet, at least. And ETC is also stacking this one. He is sitting at 9 stacks currently. So getting a bit closer here. Tigers again having a little bit of a rage tantrum there. But one of the camps has already been taken down. When it comes to early shrine control, I mean, normally it's the Tigers team that is willing to even fall back a little bit and just wait for level 10 and Odin. Not so much in this one. So they still want to take this one down. And Nagrom is paying the price. Drag here. Gets it hard. Exilon was looking for the save, couldn't. And all of a sudden, it is another huge victory in the team fight for the French as they're taking 3 heroes down. Only Diablo was lost, and they have full control over the shrine. So, easy peasy, objective 1, and that's a Frozen Punisher. So this is gonna hurt a little bit. This is gonna hurt just a tiny little bit. Roughly the same as, you know, when you get your wisdom teeth removed and the doctor tells you that that one injection that you get into the top part of your mouth, that one is just, it's just gonna hurt a little bit. It's just gonna poke for a second. Then you sit there like a squirrel that is getting completely wrecked with a broomstick because you're just in so much pain that you're like... and you can't even talk anymore. So that's roughly how much this is gonna hurt. Just a little bit. You know what I'm talking about. And yes, I have bad memories. It's been a while, but still, I'll never forget that shit. So, 5 kills to 3. And nobody who ever got his wisdom teeth removed and had this done will ever forget it either. And they all lied to us. They all lied. Double kill, so they are fighting back. This is really the theme here. The French take the lead. The Spanish fight back. Now it's a triple kill. And it's actually funny that they didn't even lose the fort. They haven't even lost the fort. Like, what? They even had an experience. The hell, Spain. I mean, they baited the Punisher deep, and then the French followed, and they're like, yeah, we got this. And then it's like, abort, abort, abort. We don't got this. We don't got this. And they lose 3. So, yeah. Level 10 is in. They got Leap. Oh! We got the Endurance of Hate and the Nano Boost. The funniest thing about the Nano Boost is that it's literally going to be used for Nano to get him boosted. And oh boy, it's a party dance, baby dance. Ah, ETC turning in Shakira because those hips don't lie, baby. 7-5 on the kill count. Urel is dead. And if anything, I'm just shocked that she's the only one that fell. Really? The only one that dies is Urel in that encounter? I honestly expected, with everything they just pulled, that they would be able to get more than just a single kill. So there's a lot of cooldowns to burn just to drop Urel, who's already back. Space Goat is down, but guess what? They get somebody else. They might get more. They got Diablo. Can they get... No, they can't get another slide. Nope, 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 nope. But okay. with that, we now have down to the bottom of the map maybe another play for Urel. The Quasar is back to business and is trying to do his thing. And it is Tassadar that dies again. Yeah, Tassadar is not having a good time this game now, does he? That combo didn't work, Nagrom, I'm sorry. That just looked a little bit sad. Pops the Apocalypse, tries to flip Sonya into it, and Sonya's like, nah, not interested, thank you. I'm good, I'm good. Don't worry about me, like, I'm fine, I'm fine. Yeah, thank you very much, but yeah, I'm out of here. Spins away, and there we go. Okay, so 9 kills to 5, 12 to 11. A lead for Spain. It's a bit of a wild game, isn't it? The French win the objective and they take 3 kills with it. And then as the actual play comes for the lane where they're trying to take the fort down, they get absolutely murdered by the Spanish team. And that this happens. So, yeah. Kind of funny. Quest is completed for ETC. That is going to help them a lot. Bit of extra sustain during these fights. Yeah, and Urel, talking about sustain, barely has enough time to pop the ult. And is still gonna die, isn't she? Durance of Hate, but right wing. Whoa, what is safe? Okay. I mean, not bad. Guys, just before we're going into the shrine, check out this play. They actually save both of them. Like, how? I could have sworn they would both die here, but no. The save is in, able to escape. Tassadar dropping the ult too. Would have saved that maybe for the shrine. The black hole is there. And now we have a level 13 talent advantage for Spain. The Spanish! Vamos, Jamoneros! They're going in, trying to get some hits. Oh, the mind control! You would think that in order to use mind control, the target would have to have a mind to be controlled, but yep, there's the kill of Diablo, so he's down. One is gone, and the Paellas are making some big plays. Look at that leap. Ooh. Yeah, they were in full sangria on that one. 11 kills to 5, and Spain is absolutely murdering the French right now. Yeah, Spain is crushing it, guys. They're going to win the Arcane Punisher. Arcane Punisher is about to be won by the blue team. They had a talent advantage throughout that fight, so let's not forget about this. And at least the French were able to grab level 13 for the defense. But this is pretty solid. This is actually very strong. So let me see what they can do here. ETC with the mosh pit. Yes, party time. And they're trying to go for the next one as well. So, Banana H still able to get out there. 11 kills to 5. Again, Spain, they have an opportunity here for sure. They've been fighting so hard through all the play days, and if they can take a map or two, maybe even the series from the French, that would be big. But they lose ETC. Good news is they kill Diablo. Tassadar is dead again. That bad boy might just as well stay at the Nexus. He's more dead than alive. That's the 4th time that he gets killed. And as I say it, I realize that Diablo died more often than he did. But now that they're moving for Panda Colada, I mean, just look at this. It's going to be another kill. Urel is dead too. 14 kills to 6. And guys, Spain is popping off. They're absolutely popping off. Call them butter, because they're on a roll. 11... I have no idea where the 11 came from. 15 to 14, 14 to 6 kills. They're going to get level 16 here. And they can't really go for the keep, can they? But big damage. I like it. I like it a lot. 56,000 damage by Mephisto, 39,000 by Tassadar. But this is just nasty business from Spain. 16 is in. Full Skull Missile build here for our boy Mephisto. Lightning Reaction is in. The Giant Slammer. And we got the Will of the Forsaken. So, if there ever was an it's a trap! Maybe? Maybe not. Yeah, I guess they were hoping for somebody to move through here. But with level 16, they're just trying to go in and get that keep destroyed. Use that talent advantage to escort minions in, escort a catapult in, escort a camp in, and take this one down. And even Odin gets popped as they're trying to defend against it. So, Banana, my god! Brightwing escapes again. Nice combo. Mind control is in. Johan is still alive. Nano as well. And here comes Quasar. And that's the bad news. Johan is the first one to fall. The Space Goat is in the house. Big damage from Mephisto, but then he gets flattened like a pancake by Quasar. Was the attack worth it? Hindsight always being 20/20. I mean, it's a clear nope. But could they have pulled this one off? Or was it too much to ask? Was it too optimistic? They lose 4 heroes in the process, and that brings the French back a bit. They close the experience gap. And now, what can they do with this? Oh my god. This is going down to the wire, isn't it? At least, this map at least. Maybe not the series. Time will tell. But they drop a fort. Should allow them to get the next objective as well. Because top side, of course, as you can see there, we still have a situation in which the altar will spawn on the lane where there's no fountain left anymore for Spain. Can they get a kill here? Space Goat is still alive, but ETC isn't. He just came back and he died again. So ETC is gone. More beef for the French. And since they just destroyed the second fort, they are apparently liking how this looks. Moving into the mid lane, trying to burn this one down with all of the camps that they have here. I mean, this is 6 Khazras that they're running, so that works. Leap is in. They're trying to get a quick and cheeky kill. If the Spanish cannot get this one, then they might be in trouble here, so they gotta be careful. They cannot afford to lose more heroes, as the shrine has just now been announced. You cannot stagger deaths here. If you see a kill opportunity, go for it and take it. But they're trailing in experience, and they cannot afford to engage into the next objective with only 4 heroes. That can't be a thing. So, 14-11 on the kill count, and Tychus is already on the shrine. This is a Mortar Punisher. 53,000 damage for Tychus, 84,000 for Mephisto. Yeah, and they're not even going for the play. They're moving down to the bottom of the map instead. The whole idea being, yes, they will get this, but we can take the keep right now. And ideally, take also a kill. Can they? Where's Sonya's leap when you need it? Not there, because she's not here. But the keep is going to be lost. It needs to be. They need to get this keep. If they make that play, they need it. It's still a 5 versus 4. They don't really know that. Well, they kind of know, because they're seeing that more of these are being taken. Actually, Panna Colada delayed a little bit. Okay, good for him. Just damaged slightly. But so they fell back once again. And this is still not dropped. They wanted to open up a bit of an opportunity, but, I mean, either way, if they can defend at the top and get a kill or two, then they can still go for it and make a quick move there. Now, Sonya could try and sneak in, just take down the keep, and then after you do that, even if you have to use mobility, you can leap out. Topside defense is going to be difficult. Nobody has level 20, I guess that's the good news. But here's the next attack, and Nano is already in trouble from the get-go. Every time he engages, he has an issue there. Brightwing ruining the plans. Thankfully, at least, Sonya has just now taken the bottom keep. And she's going for core. Sonya is going for core with a camp, and topside, the Punisher gets baited into the middle. They're trying to buy some time. I'm not so sure if the French are really making the best choice here. I think this is a pretty shitty choice. Spain is trying to prevent them from hearthing back. Spain is trying to prevent them from going back right now. And Sonya has more and more time. The core is already at 75%. There's a camp as well. Tacita is sneaking out, so he found a spot where he can hearth back. And even more of them are escaping. So Sonya has to retreat, but she dropped the core down to 60%. She might still fall, but she also has leap. They're going to try and flank her, but she has leap to escape and should instantly use it. I mean, instantly. No clue why I didn't, honestly. I mean, can you wait for her? Yeah, of course you can, but I think she could have used leap too. Maybe they were just afraid that if she leaps, and depending on the angle that the other heroes are taking, and she gets caught with the cooldown used, that they would be down both, but I think that would have been worth it. Because despite the fact that the core of the red team is now at 48%, let's not forget that there's multiple forts that are now going to be taken. So this is going down to the final minutes, but at the same time, I gotta admit that it seems a little bit rough for Spain. This, again, France is down to 48% on the core. But there's at least 2 keeps that are now getting destroyed by the French. If they can take the core, then of course they're going to try and do that. But here's the second second keep about to fall. We get Crater. Crater for Sonya. Okay. Sonya with a crater. Anna is getting murdered. No idea why they needed to be there. I think they try to stop it. Buy time for Sonya so they can engage, but now they don't have a support. And that is an invitation for the French to attack once again. So, not sure if that was the right move here by Spain. Catapults are going to push to the bot lane. Here's the move. They still don't have Ana. It's a huge problem. Mind control, power slide. Crater hits nothing. And she gets joined by Diablo, and that's a kill. No. Oh, Spain has fought so hard for this opportunity, and now they're just running into trouble. And that trouble is death. They lose too many heroes. They're gonna lose the game. What a solid effort by the Spanish team to tie the series here in Infernal Shrines. But the French just a bit too tough to beat, too tricky to take down. And the team in blue and red will extend their lead to 2-0 in this best of 5 series. GG, well played. The French with another W on map number 2. The French have taken the 2-0 lead. It was a little bit heartbreaking on Infernal Shrines. It always felt like Spain had a chance, an opening to maybe take it. I really liked the play that they executed with Sonya, where they prevented everybody from hearthing back and then allowed Sonya enough time to drop the core to 60%. If then you can execute a backdoor a bit later, then you're in a really great spot there. But they just lost afterwards too many fights, and some of them in really weird fashion too, where I just felt like they were forcing issues a little bit too much. It's obviously always easy to say, like, when you're just watching the game, right? There's like no adrenaline pumping for us, really. We're just looking at this, and when you're a player, you have very limited vision. There's tons of things happening, there's chaos, and maybe you don't always have somebody that tells you with a clear line what exactly the next play is, and then mistakes are made. Margin of error on this level of play is super small, so you just step out for a moment and bam, you're dead. But Ana dying was, of course, a massive problem. We're trying to, I guess, lock them in a bit more there. Things just didn't work out. And the French, they are a very experienced and strong team, and they just take it. It's still... I feel it still speaks well for Spain how they can push the French to the limit here on the second map. But of course, that's... you can't buy yourself anything for that, right? It's like, you can't buy yourself anything for an attaboy. So you're just sitting there, like, at the end of the day, what matters are the results. And if you don't win the map, then who cares? Nobody cares if it was close. So you need to lock in that victory eventually. Being it on the map, being it in the match. But can they do it now on Cursed Hollow? It's Hammer time right from the beginning. Okay, the first time today that we're getting a Sergeant Hammer actually played. We had Hammer banned a couple of times, but not played yet. So maybe here. Hammer also could technically be combined with Vikings. I'm always pointing the Vikings out in Cursed Hollow because there's multiple ways how you could play them here. But if you go for, again, that strong 4-man and then you Viking control somewhere else, you can siege up with Sergeant Hammer on a specific lane. And that could have gotten a little bit more interesting now that Abathar is picked too. So yeah, Abathar, of course, real big when you are trying to empower a hero on your side even further, but that could become a very interesting draft very quickly. I'm just happy that the Slugger is in the house. So that's the first one. But yeah. Mal'Ganis and Malfurion. Mal'Ganis is pretty nice to keep Sergeant Hammer safe. You can just put everybody to sleep, buy a bit more time for Hammer to get out of the fight. But yeah. Very curious what they're drafting last, and more curious what's being banned now. Because I think this is the moment where the French have to decide what they're willing to risk here. And of course, when we're talking about risk, when we're talking about picks like Vikings or any such thing, then it's always a huge risk to play them as well. As deviating away from your standard performance and going into something completely different that can definitely work for you, but it also has a lot of downsides. And if your opponent reacts well to it, and most top teams know how to properly play against it, then you can run into trouble very quickly. That said, I don't necessarily believe they're going to do it, but it is an option. Hammer comps are annoying no matter what. But before we even talking about that, are we going to see a Grey main pick as well? Probably not. I guess Cassia, main damage. No, Grey main would be a bit weak on the front line if they would go for that too. Alright, they have the final pick in. And it's actually the side laner that they are currently missing. So Abathur, Varian, Stukov. That's also quite strong. But Dequaza not picking it is interesting. For sure. So, color me intrigued. Are we gonna get maybe the curveball thrown from the French? Was Abathur not already curveball enough? Falstad and Artanis. Okay. That's really a protect the hammer comp. I mean, damn, Suppression Pulse, Mal'Ganis, you have the roots from Malfurion, and you have Falstad for August? I mean, pff, okay. So, yeah. It's a lot of protection over here. And what's Dequaza gonna pick? Goes for Illidan. Illidan Abathur. Feel the hatred of 10,000 Hero League games. Cursed Hollow, everybody. Game number 3. Interesting drafts from the two teams. Let's see who claims the map. Is it gonna be a victory in the series for the French, their first match point here, or is Spain gonna put a point on the board? The third game in the series, and it is hammer time. Nano on the Sergeant, Pepinazo on Artanis. We got Johan on Mal'Ganis. Draki on Falstad, and Exilom is playing Malfurion. On the right side of the map, it's the French with Yasuo and Cassia. We got French Illidan with Dequaza. Panda Colada on Abathur for all that support. Banana H on Stukov. And Nagrom is playing Varian. Alright. So, stacks for Cassia on the level 1. We have also the amateur opponent right now. Could help you if you're trying to go for a boss or any camp for that matter. And then Mal'Ganis at the front who went straight into the time to feed. I'm really curious how this is going to play out now. You have a couple of blinds to play out with, already being used here. They're trying to go for Sergeant Hammond, pushing Nano back. He's not really too impressed just yet. But time will tell how much damage they can really do with this. And obviously there's always the late game threat of Illidan, as we experienced in some of the previous games too. But it's a fairly interesting draft from both teams, and two completely different strategies that are colliding here. Another hit, but all the way to the top. We're gonna have Johan and Dequaza just doing their thing now. With that, it's the Emerald Dream. We get the amateur opponent. On top of that, of course, the stacking from Cassia, which at least in the early game has worked extremely well for Yasuo. He's sitting at 13 already, so at the 1 minute mark, that's a pretty solid number to have. Let's see if they can do a bit more than that. And down to the bottom of the map, it is Abathur against Artanis. Zerg against Protoss. There can be only one winner, and it is, of course, the Zerg. Malfurion dead, and Sergeant Hammer nearly falling. Oof, Yasuo nearly got that hit in towards the end. So with Malfurion dead, they want that camp, and they want more than that. Illidan is down though, so it's a 4 versus 4. Camp is up. The problem is that Artanis is insanely low. They got 3 heroes here. Abathur is, of course, helping out. What a swap! Get wrecked! That one was awesome. Artanis still gets killed, and they stole the camp. I love the swap. Great idea. Artanis still got murdered, and they got the camp. So Stukov, realizing that he's definitely dead, just turned it around with a lurking arm and then made sure that there was no chance for Artanis to survive. So considering that this is the team that has Abathur and not really a full 5th body in the game at this point, this is a great start for the French. They had an experience, they're pushing the lanes out with Abathur, they've stolen the camp away from the opponent, and it's 2 kills to 2. So well played, but as sexy as that looked from Pepinazo, it, at the end of the day, did pretty... yeah. I don't want to say nothing for them, because at least they got the kill on Stukov. But, yeah, they still lost the camp. They still lost that Hannes. So, early game, a win for the French. At least up to now. A small win, but still, it's there. Taking the camp away was always very quite nice. And you have to also realize, obviously, that playing this out, delaying things, and being in a position where you can fight back in the early game with an Abathur composition means actually a lot. Nagrom, that is a different story. So yeah, him dying here is a bit of a problem. But even that comes at a cost, because it buys time for the mid lane. And while Varian dies, he wasted a lot of their time, and that allows someone like Quasar to now come in and take more or less the entire wall down. So, to be absolutely honest with you, things are not really looking too good for Spain. And that might be a bit counterintuitive, since they're currently in a 1-0 lead on the Tribute, and Sergeant Hammer is still doing some work. But this is not too bad for the French. They have to control Hammer. That's going to be a bit of an obstacle for them still. And they're doing the best they can right now. But late game is going to be the friend of the French. With Abathur, with the copy on level 10, with Illidan scaling, if you go into the late game with this, then very likely the French are going to have a bit of an upper hand, always assuming that both teams end up in the late game on roughly even footing. So this could get very, very dangerous very quickly. But right, we're not there yet. But another thing that I have to point out, have you taken a look at Cassia's stacks? Normally when you around the 8-minute mark have 40 stacks, you're like, okay, this is solid, this is good, this is not bad. Now we are at 34 already, and we're at the 4-minute mark. That's insane, honestly. Sergeant Hammer is down, and if Yasuo keeps that stacking progress up, he's going to be another massive force in the late game. He's at 40 stacks already. Nearly 3 minutes, more than 3 minutes before he's usually supposed to. Quasar jumping in, out, keeping them busy. That allows Cassia to channel. And I gotta say, the French, they're doing such a fantastic job in the early game that Spain needs to... I mean, they need to gain ground quickly. There's a real problem for Spain, honestly. Again, you're up against an Abathur composition. You're supposed to do a little bit more work now, and the stacks are coming together very nicely for the French team. Both on Cassia and also then on... for Cassia it's the stacks. For Illidan, obviously he's stacking with his level 7 now, but mainly his late game potential is the issue. So while they are going for another boss gets also taken up at the top, so it's going to be a trade. But there's a lead in experience now for the Abathur team as they're pushing the next lane out. Vision has been granted here on both of them, so they know they still have time with the boss at the top. It's not going to be a problem for them. Illidan is down at the bottom of the map. This, on the other hand, if this gets pressured properly, that would be interesting, or it could get interesting quickly. But here's level 10. There's the taunt, and that's a kill. Falstad is down, kill number 5 for France. Boss up top, Abathur helping out with it. Down here, Illidan just barely avoiding the stun, but he does, and with Mule, they are going to keep the fort in play. Whereas up here at the top, Mule obviously is not available as an option. So now we have level 10 abilities for Spain as well, but yeah, rough times. Tough times for them. Dark Conversion is in. With level 10, of course, the dynamic oftentimes changes significantly, and we can see how much they can do there. I got closer than I thought, by the way. And Atanas might just be able to defeat it after all. I don't think he scouted him, too. They're threatening Curse, obviously, at the top. So that's another thing now. This is the 3rd tribute for Spain, if they can claim it. And that would be a fantastic move by them. If they can claim this one, that might be the ticket back into the game. And again, it might sound a little bit weird because we're not that late into the game just yet, but it's definitely something where, you know, they want to get a bit of a headway. You need some momentum at some point. You need something going your way. And the early game was a point where they should have done more, technically speaking, looking at the drafts, but they are kind of struggling there. Metamorphosis, by the way, over the hunt. Abathur is now taken to the lane at the bottom of the map and taking position there to also soak with the body while still supporting the team. So that's additional experience for them as this continues. Yeah, nice sleep. I like it. I like it a lot. Can they buy enough time? I don't think so, but maybe Illidan is now going to suffer the consequences of him going this deep. Has to use Metamorphosis to get out of this one. Abathar copy hasn't been used yet. Seems like they are just tapping the fountain. They could re-engage. Pushing the Sergeant Hammer is always tricky. Here comes the ult for Matanis. Another blind against Illidan. They are forcing this one out, and that's the end of the blind boy. Illidan is gone. Late copy on Abathar now. Very late copy. Could have used it earlier, decided against it. Draka chooses the tribute, and they get the curse. That changes things. This is exactly what Spain needed. They needed this one so much, and now they have an opportunity to get some work done here. That helps them to close the gap in experience, or at least it should. 4 kills to 5 now, and Spain is making moves. Spain is making moves, and Spain is going to destroy structures. Top fort has been claimed. Trash tennis! Nope. Nope, nope, nope. Tannis is dead, and, well, the same is also true for the bottom fort, I suppose, now that Mal'Ganis is moving in. But yeah, you kind of want that one before this. Yeah, okay. That would piss me off. Big time. Kill on Mal'Ganis, and the fort stands, which means it's going to be Abathar time to mule it up as best as possible. And here, can they save this one as well? Of course they can. So as the curse settles, I assume that both of these forts are still going to fall. But it still doesn't change the fact that after the curse, all they got, technically, is a single fort. It's all they got. Falstad is flying down, he's gonna take this, uses a global, good for him. Team? Yeah, you can be happy that there's no... Okay, you're dead. Okay, you're not dead, but you had to use your ult. I was just about to say, you can be happy that there's no hunt in the game. If there was hunt, you would be dead immediately. Got another one that they can save, so at least they got 2 forts. Okay, that makes it a little bit better. But look at the gap in experience. It's still an entire level here. Illidan has to stop this if they want to mule this up eventually. Falster could still try and make the same play, but of course Spain is interested to finish this right now. Make sure that all of the forts are gone. Not only the one at the bottom and the top. Yeah, but the attack is in. And Abathar, can he mule it up? Kulan doesn't seem to be ready yet, and Nagrom, oof. He's in trouble. Yeah, the French struggling a little bit more right now. Okay, there we go. But I think, yeah, this one's gone. Nicely done. Nicely done. Spain in the follow-up gets both of them. That was important. And they also got a kill. They are really gaining momentum now. That curse helped them a lot more than it initially seemed. If they would have just waited it out, then both of these would have been repaired at least to an extent, but now they've taken full control of this. There's a siege giant camp at the bottom of the map that does still work. They're exploiting the fact that there's no healer for the French. So all of a sudden Spain has a lot of momentum. If you don't have a 5-man against you, then Sergeant Hammer can just simply siege up at the opponent's position. There's nothing they can do about it. A well-placed route, and down goes Varian. Now it's staggered deaths that we're talking about. They're staggering kills. Problem is that Atanis died again. He does what he does best. 4th time that he falls. Cassia with 40,000 damage, by the way. It is a really interesting game. Without that curse, I really liked where the French were at that moment. But since the curse got hit, the forts destroyed, things have changed. But of course there's still a lot of potential here as the game continues, as the stacks come in for Cassia, as Illidan becomes stronger, as the distance to safety grows. 72 stacks for Cassia. And a free tribute, which is their 2nd one. Are they going for... They seem to be going straight in the face of the opponent's team for boss. I am not sure if that's not a little bit too ballsy. Yep, someone got caught, and goodbye, Stukov. Okay, that was a little bit dumb. I mean, sorry, that was a little bit stupid. Straight into their face, they at least get Malfurion. And they get another kill. It's actually kind of silly. The boss locks down Stukov, they kill Stukov, but because of where the fight happens, they're just ripping the entire team apart. I mean, what works, works, right? So the French are gonna be happy with this. They baited it, not intentionally, but they forced the fight or baited the fight with Stukov. He gets killed, and then without their support, they still turn the fight around with the help of Abathur, and they take 3 heroes down on the opponent's team. Easily. But that shows you once again the power of Illidan with Abathur. And of course also the power of Cassia with the amount of stacks that she's currently running. So, yeah. It's weird, it's wild, I'm here for it, but it also means that it's now, again, getting very, very tricky for Spain to reclaim any kind of position in this game. Damage output, 45,000 for Cassia, she's ahead of Sergeant Hammer. Illidan with 23,000. Nagrom still fine over here, but Illidan is again in the backline, instantly in the backline. Helped by Abathur. Yeah, they need to jump out once that the ult of Atanas is being used against him. But that only lasts so long. That only gives you so much time. But now they're focusing it down and Illidan is dead. And every single time that Illidan is dead, all of a sudden the power dynamic shifts. The boss is, by the way, still active at the bottom of the map. Let's not forget about this. Also, Cassia copy. Yeah, the copy is in, but the swap happened and Yasuo is likely gonna fall. This is a consistent back and forth. I love it. I absolutely love it. Can't stop, won't stop. Look at Johan. Look at Johan. Just like every time that Mal'Ganis pops off like this with his fell claws, it's just ridiculous. So at the bottom of the map, one fort has been destroyed. That tower falls too. And while this happens, at the top, another boss gets claimed, this time by Spain. This game is just all over the place. Left, right, left. One hit after another. 12 kills to 9. 91 stacks for Cassia. And can they take this camp? Yeah, but they are gonna lose Banana Age, aren't they? Stukov! Yeah, Banana! The Admiral is gone. Again, they stagger the death. Cassia back, Stukov gone. I don't know what to tell you. Staggered deaths all over the place. There's definitely some plays being made where you're like, yeah, you're getting greedy here. You're trying to somehow make that work and you're paying the price for it. And of course, now you suffer the consequences. Down is the first keep of the game. Keep number 2 at the top. Likely gonna fall as well. If Spain is putting any pressure on it, they don't even need to put any pressure on this. For a moment, I was thinking, hey, maybe they have to attack here. But that's not even the case. The boss alone is going to take this down. So 2 keeps down. The French are honestly their worst enemy right now. They're making some bad decisions and they're paying the price. In total, 5 tributes have now been taken by Spain in this game. Only 2 by the French. Only 2. So for this, honestly, for Spain, play it safe here. This is your game to lose. You still have 2 forts standing. You're looking strong. You can go and play with bosses later, but yeah, catapults will pressure. We are 16 minutes in. They have to, of course, take some calculated risks. Don't get me wrong. They can't just play it super safe. But you shouldn't YOLO it too hard at this point. Don't take any risks that aren't really worth it. You don't have to take every single fight. You have to fight for the next objective, for the next tribute, because if you don't... Well, actually, they might not be able to. That is a 30-second gap? Ooh, yeah. I mean, Falstad should be able to go to the side lane and then move back out. So I suppose they can still make that. Because that would be Curse. This is a tribute for Curse. And level 20 talents are ready for the French. And they are already in position. Imprisoning Light. Glory to the Alliance. And the Demonic Form over here. They're even a bit worried that they're going to backdoor. Yeah, Yasuo is just cancelling Hearth. This is Curse. Alright, so Spain has decided that they don't have level 20 yet. They decided that they gotta wait this out. They decided that they are going to defend against the Curse and wait for level 20. And now here come the French. And France is going to take to end the game if they can. 20 versus 20. 100 stacks on Cassia. Ultra capacitors are in. Wind tunnel. I don't think that... Well, let's wait. Let's wait and see what they can pull off here. But yeah, this keep is going to fall. At least it should. The keep should fall. Question is, of course, can they do more? Catapult is doing solid work. Again, 17 minutes into the game. Of course, these bastards hurt. Here comes the wind tunnel. Nice, but Yazoo! And he's dead. Cassia is gone. Illidan with the plays made, and his ult is already out. Doesn't have the ult anymore. They haven't taken the keep yet either. Here comes the taunt on the birdie. Can't get a kill with that. Or can they? Illidan is dead. And guys, this might just be game. Spain might just have won this one. 3 heroes down. Abathar still there. They go for Banana H. All they gotta do now is cross the map. Spain! The Spanish Armada sailing to potential victory. Up at the top. They got so much time. We're gonna have Cassia back in 26 seconds. Falstad is already flying over, and this is looking great. You have to think about Abathar and Mule on the core, but I do not see a way for France to stop this. The French get crushed. What a back and forth game. Mistakes made by both sides, exploited by the opponent, but as the dust settles, it is Spain with the victory. They claim it. They take a map win against one of the top 3 as we are headed for game number 4. Gun of Terror, map number 4. Not only did the Spanish team just take a victory, which is actually big, but we also have a bit of a change from map number 4. And I don't know exactly why that happened, but they are playing with a sub. So I guess Nagrom didn't have enough time, or for some other reason is now out for game number 4. And I would assume for game number 5 is their 5th game. And, well, keep in mind, he was already replacing Masquerade, who couldn't play today. So now they're playing with another sub, and they're subbing Malganir in. And that, I mean, nothing against Malganir. He's playing in Heroes Lounge, and it's not like he's horrible, but he's not really on the level of Nagrom, I'd say. So this is a bit of a setback for the French team, I would assume. Not quite sure what happened there. But that might give a bit of an opportunity to Spain. So, okay. Let's see how he fits in with the draft at this point. I mean, I casted a couple of matches of his team that played in Heroes Lounge. I think they play in Division 1. So, middle of the pack, I'd say. But that is definitely a twist that I did not see coming. So, with that first victory for Spain, this might be an opportunity to get a little bit more out of this series than they initially thought they could. So, Masquerade can't make it. The sub comes in. It's Nagrom, who they played with in the past, of course, in multiple variations. And now for game number 4, they have to sub out the sub. Okay. Dehaga hasn't been part of the game in the last couple of maps. I mean, now we are in game number 4, so 30 heroes that have been banned previously cannot be played again. And Dehaga finally makes an appearance. Garden of Terror is another big map. And we get Nazeebo instantly. First pick rotation for Spain, they get Nazeebo. And yeah, this will be an interesting game to say the least. Also, another problem here is if you have somebody that plays heroes, maybe hero pool might at some point become a bit of a problem as well. I'm not sure. I mean, again, this game 4, it's like 30 banned. Tyrael is still fairly straightforward. So yeah, I don't think that's an issue. But very, very interested now what Spain can do to kind of exploit the situation a little bit. So yeah, either way. Yazoo playing Tracer. They got Tyrael together with that too, so that's already nice. You have the shields from Tracer, you have that support through that. White main gets banned. But with Nazeebo taken, there's obviously already a bit of a thought process here on the side of the Spanish where they're saying, hey, if we can delay the game a little bit and can just get Nazeebo time enough to get into the late game level 20 while Infection, then it's going to end up in our favor. And I would assume so too. And you can, of course, always argue, all right, how do they play this now? Do they maybe even target the sub player a little bit more? I don't know. But either way, for Spain, it's already win to win a map here. It's huge. Map win against one of the favorites, perfect. For the French, given their situation in the standings, if there is a team that is currently at risk of maybe falling out of the top 3, then it would be the French. So, yeah, I would be very, very cautious if I was them. Do I expect them to drop out of the top 3? No, not really. I mean, again, they're still insanely strong. But this could become a problem. So, Spain has a chance at a real upset now. We get Jaina, we get Kanen, so you now have a mage. Jaina obviously also very good on camp clear. If she gets her full rotation of abilities through, she can burn camps down very quickly. On the side of the Spanish team, we got Uther, got Imperius, and Nano. I mean, he could also play Nazeebo here, but this is going to be wild. It could be wild. Maybe it's just going to be another, you know, ruffle stomp by a French, and they're like, haha, game 3, we're just kidding. Or we're going to be in for a very, very interesting match right now. So yeah, here we are. We got Spain against France, game number 4. Greymane has the final pick. Garden of Terror is the map. Off we go. Can they force map 5? Or will the French take the second match point and win the series? Let's find out. Game number 4. Drag here for Spain on Greymane. We got Nano Nazeebo. Exilom is playing Uther, Johan on Imperius, and Pepe Nazo on Malthael, the Aspect of Death. On the right, the French team with Malganir on Tyrael. We got Yasu, they got Kane, De Quasar on De Haka, Banana H on Tracer, and the Panda Colada on Jaina. Time to shine. The French with a plan. They want to go for late game with Nazeebo. Toad build once again. Can they pull it off? Yes, no. And also, how will the French play this one out now? Lots of super strong players, obviously. They had some great games. But also, Infernal Shrines was barely won by them. Game 3 they lose, and now they're in game 4. And can they rally? Can they claim victory here? Or are they going to be pushed into a 5th map? I'm going to be absolutely honest with you. I think if it goes to map number 5, Spain has a massive advantage. I mean, just imagine if you're on a 2-0 lead and then you lose 2 in a row and have to fight on the final map for your life. That always puts you into a negative mindset. So, one way or another, this is going to get interesting. Currently, on the biggest map in the pool, tons and tons of mercenary camps. We have France and Spain doing their thing. And, yep. What else is it? Up at the top, we got Nano. He's obviously attempting to get some stacks together here. We have down at the bottom left of the map the first few camps claimed. I mean, at the end of the day, the French are going to do the same thing. So they're going to start moving in, taking their siege giants, taking their mercenary camps as best as they can. And yeah, it's going to be party time for sure as the game continues and the first aggressive moves are going to be made. That's going to be a big party. We have a small party in the middle as they're trying to go for Johan. No, that didn't really work. But yeah, top side, everything still as expected. Nano, 1 hit at a time, 1 minion at a time. Needs to play careful against De Quasar though, but nicely done with the zombie wall here. But his whole goal is of course to get good stacks together, and that's what he's currently doing. A little bit of an invade over here towards the right. I mean, he's not really committing to this. Well, he kind of is, but then he's doing it a little bit too late. At the top, they're trying to make a play for Nano. And, well, with try... Really? Okay, spraying him on point as well. It seems like they couldn't really decide who was going to kill him, and so nobody did. Yeah, bit of an unfortunate end to that gank that the French team set up. So Nazeebo's going to be very happy about this. But that was a little bit memey here. And I was like, excuse me? So, yeah, not quite. That kill didn't come through. Now we have Siege Giants getting attacked in the mid lane as he's trying to defend. Yeah, camp about to be claimed. De Quasar's going to be a little bit too late on that. Yep. but they might still be able to get a kill here on Malthael, and they likely will. The drag connects, and that is the end of Malthael, so job well done. First blood in the game goes to the French. Well played. Whereas Malganir gets caught down here for just a second, so good job by Nazeebo, but it wasn't really enough to be of any consequence for the French. They didn't lose a hero here. The wall at least gets opened up, so some damage done by the team in blue as they are starting to focus a bit more on structures just in general. With the first seed now up, the question is still who's going to get it here. I mean, structures are not really going to be the biggest issue if at any point they are able to get Nazeebo on them with a Toad build, or at least a Toad build that is advanced enough and where he has decent stacks, ideally of course with a Vital Infection after level 20, he is going to just crush things. We've talked about exactly that multiple times already, but Dequaza wouldn't be Dequaza if he wasn't able to get easy solo kills against people. So yeah, this guy is an absolute monster on the side lane, and that is exactly what Nano just ran into. And he underestimated it. He dodged it out earlier a couple of times very nicely, but now it's a follow-up kill on Imperia, so that means 3 kills to 0 in favor of the French. So they are doing a great job here, and they're also gathering the seed. So all in all, the early game looking awesome. Don't have the seed just yet, but they got, again, 3 kills, and now they're going to go for kill number 4. Drag here, bye-bye. There's no way he gets out of this one. Gets slowed and dies. Uther at least makes it out. Malthael is at the top. They're half a level behind now, but the situation is still, I don't want to say the same, but it's still fairly similar. They're really struggling here. Uther is now dead too. They're not getting any counter kills, and yeah, the French are just killing people now. They're just rushing around, getting one kill after another. We have especially Dequaza absolutely popping off for the team at this point. Yeah, they're trying to go in here again. Not quite yet. Banana already making his move. Johan gone. Topside play still happening. And now they're coming through with a little bit more side lane pressure that they're trying to execute. We got down to the bottom of the map. Nano attempting to stack a bit further. He's at 50 stacks. It's not too bad, but yeah. They are struggling a bit. Slightly behind. Level 10s are just now about to hit. Second seed is spawning. Good position for the French. With level 10 advantage, they should get this one for free. And now we get the Sanctification. Sleeper set up with the Stay a While and Listen. No big surprises here. The Ring of Frost, I mean, again, Water Elemental could have been played, but they didn't here. With Greymane, they can now try and go straight in and take down the fort. And they're getting close, but the rotation is again there, and it is again who? None else but Dequaza. And Drake went too deep and gets punished. So they nearly take the fort down, but the problem is still the same. They're losing hero after hero, and they're losing too many. I don't even mind them not killing anybody if they just play for the late game and they're trying to delay the game as much as they can. They're willing to maybe lose a fort or two, but they cannot lose this many heroes because it will give a huge experience lead over to the French team, and that is eventually going to be the downfall if this continues. So we gotta put a stop to this eventually. A few more camps are claimed, and they still have, again, damage on at least structure, so it's not like they don't have anything going for themselves. Nano is also stacking, but they are still running in some trouble here. Wrath of Ingirius, we got the Go for the Throat and the Ravenous Spirit. And here comes seed number 2. Again, this one was a freebie. Good position, early level 10. Rotated over. Fort at the bottom of the map does now finally fall, and that of course means that with this one getting destroyed... actually, does it? Yeah, I guess no. They at least take the lead in structures. Which at the end of the day is obviously a huge win for you, since you now have more pressure down at the bottom of the map, so it's not too bad. Alright, so... with that, in the middle of the map, they kill at least Mal'Ganis. That's the material. So that's the first blood. Nice play also with the Ravenous Spirit. Not enough to take Dequaza down, but at least they forced everybody back. And that kill against Tyrael also helps them to open that wall up. So they are getting these small kills, and structurally they are doing work, especially with Nazebo. He has enormous power against structures with the Toad build that he is running. And top side, we're also seeing another minion wave escorted straight into this. And hello? Tracer apparently diving a bit too deep for whatever reason. So with that, that's the second kill for Spain. Spain getting their stuff together. It's maybe a little bit late after level 10 here, but they are starting to gain a bit of momentum. Yasuo is getting attacked, Uther's trying for the stun, but the problem is that they're not alone, because Tyrell is already with them. So, yeah, that helps. But everybody is just slowly moving back out here. Now it's 13 versus 13. So even Talons are trying to go for the seed, because obviously this would be the third one, and you don't want to go up against the Garden Terrors. Nice play. This time Uther is just shutting this down as Dequaza connects another Tong. He's an absolute monster with this. Double ring connect! Sweet! Well played. Double kill. Greymane and Nazebo both down. Now they go for Uther, and he's also gonna get killed. That's awesome. Yeah, that's really, really awesome for the French. Very important kills. That's 4 kills in total. Everybody with the exception of Malthael has been eliminated. So, yeah, nicely done. And that's Garden Terrors, of course, as well. This is brutal. This is absolutely brutal. Spain was just looking like they might recover here. And now it's Garden Terrors against them. They lost 4 more heroes. It's 2 kills to 10. And this is a total disaster. The idea is, of course, late game damage with Nazebo. Before that, you still want him to be useful and to help out. And currently, they're getting absolutely none of this. Absolutely none. They're losing on all lanes. These Garden Terrors are now doing damage. The pressure from the French team is being applied over and over again. And yeah, with Nazebo, they can of course do a bit here. But look at Dequaza. He's again on Dehaka. His Dehaka is just insane. It's like, is crushing it. Swamgrota and Dequaza, 2 Dehaka players in this tournament that are absolute monsters and can turn a game on its head by themselves. Now we have at least a kill on Jaina, so they're shutting some of the aggression down. The Ravenous Spirit zones everybody away, but level 16 ready for the French in a few seconds is going to be big. At the bottom of the map, the fort has been destroyed. Nano is at least able to stop the Garden Terror here. At the top, they stopped it too, but it's still an entire level gap that they have to bridge now. And of course, their situation is not going to get any easier as all of this continues. 100 stacks for Nazebo. It's not bad, but he's also still 70 stacks away from getting to his Vile Infection. So if they can maybe slow this down a little bit, get to 20 at some point, and have Nazebo come in with Vile Infection, there's always a chance to bring it back then. But they're already losing some ground here, and with that level lead, an early level 20 for France could also be devastating for them. So, well, here we are. Gets a few stacks together, soon TM. But the French, they are going for topside now. And of course, if you're playing for the French team, you are also aware that late game could become problematic for you. The good news for Spain, as weird as that might seem, is also your opponent already had Garden Terrors. Yeah, Dehaka running full into the spiders, and unfortunately for the blue team, now they're missing the ult on Imperius. But the Garden Terrors are already over, so it's another 3 seats that are needed for the French to get another set of Garden Terrors. So the defense was okay. They lost some ground, they lost 2 forts, but it's not like they lost any keeps here, and they still have a fort in the middle of the map too, so there's at least a bit of an upside. We now have the Soul Harvest, there's no Ice Block, it's Guardian Toads in level 13. Nazebo at 120 stacks, now on level 16. But yeah, it's a wild game. The French are generally speaking doing a much better job here, but as long as the Spanish team can hold on to Nazebo, as long as they can hold on to their keeps and bring this into the late game, they always have a chance to get back into all of this. So Nazebo, yeah, time and time again, getting the damage out, getting the stacks together, trying to also help with the team here. Has to be very careful against Jaina though, and Sanctification is out, and Malthael in trouble. Ring with the double connect, Imperius is gone. Ravenous Spirit gets used once more, but it's 3 kills against Spain. They cannot take these fights the way they do. It's too tricky for them. Ring on the ground, Sanctification being dropped, Deckard Kane with full sleeper setup, And every time they lose 3-4 heroes, the consequences, of course, are going to be loss in structures. And that's what we're getting right here. Big damage. Jaina in particular has been making some nice moves. It's Tracer that currently leads the charts for the red team, but Jaina is shortly behind. Nazeebo with 32,000 for Spain. Greymane himself, 15k. Yeah. He's trailing hard. I mean, Nazeebo with a little bit more work done here in the middle. You can really tell that currently they're resigning themselves more and more to trying to hit by the Infectional level 20. I mean, they're going to get it. He's at 150 stacks in a moment, so Nazeebo is going to be real powerful at 20. But that is still more than 2 levels that you have to bridge, and the real issue is your opponent nearly has it. I mean, look at the experience distribution here for just a second. The difference in hero experience is 7,000 at this point. 7,000. Then you have the increased minion experience as well. The only point really where Spain is leading is on the mercenary XP. That's the only point where they can hold a candle to what France is doing right now. So, yeah. Nazeebo, he will get them to... well, he will get the stacks. But can they survive until then? They gotta retreat here too. So, oftentimes when these little moves are being made by France, they're also late to react. Nazeebo's still stacking in the middle of the map, and now he's at 159, hitting the 60 any second. But they gotta defend, they gotta defend, they gotta defend and defend, and they gotta defend for 1.5 levels. And that's another Garden Terror seed, by the way. So not a single seed in this game was picked up by Spain so far. They lost 5 seeds. They didn't win a single one. And now, yep, the defense down here is going well, but still, I think once those Garden Terrors are in play, that's a very different story. If you had level 20 now, if you didn't fall this far behind experience, then maybe it's a little bit of a different situation to play around with, but currently that's exactly the reality that they are facing. They still have to bridge an entire level. Quasar is going to make the moves up at the seed and is going to eventually claim it, and they can take as many of these waves as they want, but it doesn't seem like they're going to be there in time. So the seed is going to be gathered, and that is Garden Terrors. And now we're going to see them lose some of their keeps. And they could lose the game here. If they can get a quick kill, they want Imperials. Can they? Tyrael, no! Tyrael is still alive. He made it. Ring, and well, that's a kill. It was a nice attempt. If they get the kill, it's a different story, but now it's another drag, and that is the end. That has to be the end. Garden Terrors on all sides. It was a nice and valiant effort by Spain, honestly. If they get the kill on Tyrael in this situation, then they have a chance to defend properly. But as this isn't the case, they lose the first keep. 2 heroes are gone. Nazeebo is doing what he can. He's at 50,000 damage, top damage in the game, but it is just not gonna be enough. Despite the fact that they had to sub out another player, the French team is on their way to victory. Nazeebo escapes for a moment. The core has the big disadvantage that it can't run away, so that means it falls 15 kills to 3, and the French take the victory against Spain with 3-2-1. GG. Thank you everybody for watching the video today. I hope that you enjoyed the show and the commentary. And keep in mind that the spoiler protection that is going to run for the rest of the video is made possible by all the support on patreon.com. So guys, if you want to support my work, if you want to help me start new projects and keep the spoiler protection in place, please consider heading over to patreon.com/Khaldor. There's also a link in the YouTube description, and check that out. Thanks in advance, and see you guys next time with more esports coverage here on Khaldor TV. Have a great day.